Howdy, all. I am Adam, the Renaissance Nerd, and you've been coming to my channel for the past few months, and if you're new here, I will cover the cancel culture mob. I will cover it when actors or famous people in general take a stand and say no more. I say a lot of the time, some of them are late to the game. But in the end, having a come to Jesus moment is good enough for me to at least say, thank you. Now keep saying what you're saying. I will also cover when woke SJW morons attempt to cancel people. Mel Gibson has a history. He has a history. In 2006, in a drunken tirade to cops, he said some anti-Semitic things. As many of you may know, if you've been here on this channel long enough, I am Jewish. I am proud of my heritage. I'm proud of my culture. I am not overly religious, but I believe in the teachings of Judaism. And I stick to the 10 Commandments. That's how I run my life. I stick to the 10 Commandments as best as I can. That being said, in 2006, when Mel Gibson went on his tirade, I was offended. I was a young man. I was a little hypersensitized. I wasn't liberal by any means, but I was offended by it. And I stopped watching Mel Gibson movies. At that time, I was still transferring over to DVDs from VHS. So I didn't convert any of the Mel Gibson movies I had on VHS, and I had a few. I did not convert any of them to DVD and later to Blu-ray. And I got a kick out of it when South Park roasted him. I got a kick out of it when other people roasted him because I felt he deserved it. But that was a good 15 years ago now, almost 16 years ago. And recently I was watching other people, and I realized that Mel Gibson has earned his right for forgiveness. He earned his right for forgiveness. He has said he is sorry. And maybe it's time for me to be a little bit bigger. I mean, I hadn't thought about him for years. I really hadn't. I didn't watch movies, anything. He was in Expendables 3, which is on the shelf over there. And, but I didn't think anything of it. I just kind of passed it off. I didn't think about reacquiring my Mel Gibson collection. But then, like I said, I watched some streams a few weeks ago, last month, and people were talking about Mel Gibson. I thought, you know what? Maybe it's time for me to be a bigger person. Maybe it's time for me to put it aside and let the past be the past, because if I do that, if I hold that kind of grudge, I'm assisting the cancel culture mob that still wants to cancel Mel Gibson for that rant that he did in 2006, which he has apologized for. And who is it? Some nitwit called Joshua Malina. Because Mel Gibson is in the news after a couple weeks ago that he is going to be directing Lethal Weapon 5. Now, do we need a Lethal Weapon 5? I don't know. It's a little past its time in terms of the franchise and the fact that everybody's an old fart now. But hey, Richard Donner says go do it, then go do it. And here it is. Mel Gibson, of course, apologized for his words and is putting his life back together after the succeeding years. In addition, he reportedly educated himself about the Holocaust and quietly conducted related endeavors such as philanthropic work to help Holocaust survivors in 8 countries through the Survivor Mitzvah Project. You don't know what a mitzvah is. It means doing a good deed without being asked to. It's basically the Jewish version of paying it forward, doing a mitzvah. And lately, things have been looking out for Mel Gibson. He's going to be directing Lethal Weapon 5. But Joshua Malina doesn't like that. Now, I had to ask myself, who the F is Joshua Malina? This epic piece of shit. I recognized him as soon as I brought the picture up. I first saw this dumbass on the show Sports what is it called? Sports Night. Years and years ago. Back in the 90s, is it? That's how far back? No. Sports Night. Well, here it is. He was on Sports Night. He was on West Wing. He's been on a bunch of stuff. And this dude suffers major TDS. He suffers a whole lot of crazy leftist crap. So this guy is a special son of a bitch. So as soon as I saw it was him, I thought, oh man, I am glad I forgave Mel Gibson. And I can prove I forgave Mel Gibson because one of my gifts to myself this holiday season, I have reacquired the Lethal Weapon movies. 4 Lethal Weapon 4-pack Blu-rays. I'm going to watch Lethal Weapon 1 on Christmas Eve because Lethal Weapon 1 is a Christmas movie. And just prove you that's not the case. Look, boom. Whoa, there it is. There it is. Didn't just get a case, put a thing in it. I have put my money where my mouth is. I have put Mel Gibson's past statements behind him because I want to enjoy these movies again. I want to get Maverick again. I want to get Bird on a Wire. There are other movies out there. So I'm ready to reclaim my Mel Gibson collection. So when I saw that this stupid son of a bitch was babbling about him, I thought, oh my God, I am glad I'm glad that I'm glad I made my peace with it because I do not want to be associated with a piece of crap like Joshua Molina. Gibson is a well-known Jew hater. Anti-Semitite is too mild. His prejudices are well documented. So my question is, what does a guy have to do these days to get put on Hollywood's no-fly list? I'm a character actor. I tend to take jobs that come my way. But, and this hurts to write, you couldn't pay me enough to work with Mel Gibson. Well, this is going to get you your left-wing jobs because this guy is a crazy TDS psychopath. But people have burned this guy. He is getting roasted, apparently. Comments on Molina's essay in a YouTube entertainment piece about it were decidedly in Gibson's corner and accused Molina of sour grapes and rehashing old news. How about we cancel people who get offended by everything? One commenter asked. You're welcome to your view, but I think most of us are getting sick of these people telling us what we can and cannot watch, say, do, or think. Surprised that The Atlantic ran this article. Apparently, he put this article in that bastion of good journalism, The Atlantic. No, The Atlantic is a left-wing yellow propaganda rag. Surprised that The Atlantic ran this article, another commenter said, no, not surprised. It is old news, and the case made by Molina sounds more like censorship and authoritarianism. How much more time is the cancel culture going to make Mel stand in the corner? I thought he atoned for his drunken slurs. Everybody deserves a second chance. Let he who has not sinned cast the first stone. Now let the man make some more movies like the other ones I liked. I hope someone digs around this guy's past to find something he can be canceled for. Glass houses, I say cancel the people who don't know how to forgive. Now, apparently also, back in 2011, Robert Downey Jr., as a man who also needed to be forgiven for his past, he had just rejuvenated his career. He's got Iron Man, Sherlock Holmes. He apparently said this about Mel Gibson. I humbly ask that you join me unless you are completely without sin, in which case you picked the wrong effing industry, in forgiving my friend his trespasses, offering him the same clean slate that you have me, and allowing him to continue his great and ongoing contribution to our collective art without shame, Downey said in regard to Mel Gibson. And before those printed words, Downey revealed to listeners how Gibson had helped him, previous to Gibson's own downfall. When I couldn't get sober, this is Downey speaking, he told me not to give up hope, and he urged me to find my faith. It didn't have to be his or anyone else's as long as it was rooted in forgiveness, and I couldn't get hired. So he cast me in a lead of a movie that was actually developed for him, and he kept a roof over my head, and he kept food on the table, and most importantly, he said that if I accepted responsibility for my wrongdoings, and if I embraced that part of my soul that was ugly, hugging the cactus, he calls it, he said that if I hugged the cactus long enough, I would become a man of some humility and that my life would take on a new meaning. And I did, and it worked. All he asked in return was that someday I'll help the next guy in some small way. It's reasonable to assume that at the time he didn't imagine that the next guy would be him, and that someday was tonight. See, right there, Robert Downey Jr., to use another Jewish term, is being a mensch. He's being a mensch, being a man. And Mel Gibson has clearly earned, in my opinion, his forgiveness. As a Jew, I say, Mel, I forgive you for your rant. And I have proven it again by putting my money where my mouth is, by buying possibly my favorite Mel Gibson movie is the Lethal Weapon quadrilogy, I don't know. And you know what? We'll see how Lethal Weapon 5 goes. Now, Danny Glover, he's still a crazy socialist piece of shit. But, I guess I'll have to make an exception because back when those movies happened, we didn't know. And we have to go back in time. But Mel Gibson, the man has earned his right to make movies again. The man should not be canceled for anything he said in the past. None of us should be canceled for anything we said, especially if we have asked for forgiveness, especially if we've done our mea culpas. F the cancel culture, F the left-wing Hollywood, F the Marxists, F Joshua Malina, and F everybody who pretends to be virtuous when in fact they are the villains. All right, I'm done. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, a like would be appreciated. If you're new here, I invite you to follow me right here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Odyssey. I am here to earn your trust and support in my fight to return escapism to entertainment. But to do that again, I'm going to give you my straightforward, honest takes. I'm not going to lie to you guys in order to earn that trust and support. Hit the notification button. Share my videos if you like what I'm preaching. And please comment away. You don't have to agree with every word I say. You could have a different opinion, and that's just fine, because normal people can have different opinions and still get along. We are not SJWs. We are not the cancel culture mob who get both barrels. I don't care what you think. I will never care what you think. You're all cowards behind keyboards, and if we don't pay attention to you, you have no power. So thank you again for watching. Take it easy. Thanks for watching, everybody. I don't do Facebook. I will never do Twitter. If you want to reach out to me, just email me. It's purely for this channel. I will not miss your communication. Check me out at the Geeks and Gamers forums under @ROAS. Join me in conversations there, among many others. And I'm now on Odyssey @The Renaissance Nerd. Follow me there as well. Help us keep fighting to return escapism to entertainment. Thank you again for watching. See you next time.